Hello dear children, today we are going to begin the lesson number 4, measurement of matter. The objective of the lesson are laws of chemical combination, atomic size, atomic mass and atomic valence, molecular mass and the concept of mole. And last objective is radicals. Let's begin with the first. In the previous standard, you have learned that compounds are formed by chemical combination of elements. We have also learned that an important principle of Dalton's atomic theory is that molecules of a compound are formed by joining atoms of different elements. Now let's begin with the first concept, that is laws of chemical combination. The composition of a substance changes during a chemical change. The fundamental experiment is this regard were performed by scientists in the 18th and 19th century. While doing this, they measured accurately the substances used and formed. The scientists Dalton, Thomson and Rutherford studied the structure of substances and the atoms and discovered the law of chemical combination. Scientists could then write the molecular formula of various compounds on the basis of Dalton's atomic theory and the law of chemical combination. Now let's see this small activity. Take a solution of calcium chloride in a conical flask and a solution of sodium sulfate in a test tube. Tie a thread to the test tube and insert it in the conical flask. Seal the conical flask with an airtight rubber cork. Weigh the conical flask using a balance. Now, tilt the conical flask so that the solution in the test tube gets poured in the conical flask. Now, weigh the conical flask again. In this activity, the mass of the original matter and the mass of the matter newly formed as a result of chemical change are equal. The Antoine Lavoisier inferred from this research there is no rise or drop in the weight of the matter during a chemical reaction. In a chemical reaction, the total weight of the reactant is same as the total weight of the product formed due to the chemical reaction, and it is said to be the law of conservation of matter. Now let's see the third, the law of constant proportion. Law of constant proportion is nothing but the proportion by weight of the constituent element in the various samples of a compound is fixed. For example, the proportion by weight of hydrogen and the proportion by weight of oxygen in water is 1:8. This means that 9 grams of water is formed by chemical combination of 1 gram of hydrogen and 8 gram of oxygen. Now let's see the second example. Proportion by weight of carbon and proportion by weight of oxygen in carbon dioxide is 3:8. 44 gram of carbon dioxide is formed by the chemical combination of 12 gram of carbon and 32 gram of oxygen. So this is all about the law of constant proportion. Now let's see the little bit introduction to the scientist Antoine Lavoisier. Antoine Lavoisier is said to be the father of modern chemistry. He contributes in the field of chemistry, biology and economics. He did the work of nomenclature of oxygen and hydrogen. He showed that matter combines with oxygen during combustion. He discovered that water is made up of hydrogen and oxygen, and many more contributions are there. Verification of the law of constant proportion. Many compounds can be made by different methods. For example, two samples of the compound copper oxide CuO were obtained by the decomposition of copper carbonate CuCO3 and another by the decomposition of copper nitrate CuNO3 bracket 2. From each of these samples, a mass of 8 gram of copper oxide was taken, and each was treated independently with hydrogen gas. Both gave 6.4 gram copper and 1.8 gram water. The reaction of copper oxide with hydrogen yielded two unknown substances, namely the compound water and the element copper. It is known that in this compound water H2O, the element hydrogen and the element oxygen are in the proportion of 1:8 by weight. This means that 9 gram of water, there are 8 gram of oxygen and 1 gram of hydrogen.